One of the most potent weapons that churches have is the ability to create an atmosphere of hospitality. When churches are able to leverage their people in a way that they get aligned around hospitality, it has the ability to change lives. Colossians chapter 4, verses 5 to 6 says, "Be wise in the way you act towards outsiders. Make the most of every opportunity. Let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone." Every church has the ability to create an atmosphere of hospitality. It takes intentionality, but it's not hard to do. And part of what we have to realize is that when we do a good job with hospitality, what that does is it communicates to other people that they matter, that they're important to you. And why that is so important is that when someone walks into a church and a church is able to show that they matter and that they're important to the church, it's easier for them to believe that there is a God in heaven that thinks that they matter and are important. Hospitality connects the message of God's love with the value that God places on people. And it makes people so much more receptive to the message of the gospel and so much more willing to open themselves up to the truth that God has for them and the fact that Jesus wants to have a relationship with everyone. A statement that I heard from a guy by the name of Doug Fields years ago is that people will not be theologically aware until they're sociologically comfortable. In fact, it communicates the idea that as long as people are guarded and they're not sure and they're not feeling safe or comfortable, they're not going to be open to the whole idea of hearing the truth of who Jesus Christ is. But when we create an atmosphere that makes them comfortable and communicates the fact that they're safe and we value them, that opens them up to hear the truth of Jesus Christ. And so, in our leadership, whenever we take the steps to create a hospitable atmosphere, we create the potential for the gospel to be heard by other people in a much more powerful way.
We believe that radical, ordinary hospitality starts with belonging, starts with feeling at home. It's been our dream from the start that people feel like they belong here before they behave like us, before they believe like us. Everyone belongs here.
There are always people here who are new, who are guests, who are visitors, who don't know what they believe. We can't make assumptions about who is here in our parish.
That in everything we do on a Sunday, in our alphas, in our, people who walk through any door in our church, whether it's those main doors on a Sunday, whether it's the basement doors to go to alpha, whether it's the office doors to come in to inquire about something, about a sacrament or something like that, that they feel that they are valued, that their story matters, that we care about them, and that we want to actually be there for them.
And from that place of feeling at home in our church, we can take on the responsibility of welcoming others as we ourselves have been welcomed.
This idea of hospitality is so important. In fact, there's several studies that show that when people visit your church for the first time, they decide within the first 7 to 10 minutes if they're going to come back or not. A lot of times that decision will be made before they've ever heard preaching or music, but they're going to make that judgment based on the environment that they experience and the first impression that they come across. And so focusing on hospitality is so important. Whenever we get someone that comes back to our parish a second time, makes a second visit, whether that's to a Mass or comes back to another event outside of Mass, that is huge. And you want to be able to create environments where that happens. I like the statement made by Maya Angelou, where she said, "At the end of the day, people won't remember what you said or did. They will remember how you made them feel." When people come to our parish, what is it that they actually experience? What type of environment do they encounter? What does our hospitality communicate to the people that visit our parish? What type of value do we communicate, or what type of value do we not communicate? And so learning to think through this area is so important. And so what are some next steps for you in these areas? What is it that you want people to experience in your parish? Take some time and think through the culture of your church. and the hospitality. What is it that people experience? What do people currently experience when they visit your church? What do you hope people experience when they come to your church? What's it like to experience your church online through your website or through your social media? Are you hospitable to people even in your online presence? What are some clear and next steps that you can begin to lay out for people to invite them back to help them know that there is a next step here, there's more for them? What could that look like? And so in this area of hospitality, what is the next step for you in your leadership?